Hello and welcome to the absolutely stunning and serene central Bedfordshire village of Milton Bryan. Now, Milton Bryan is a very special village. It is literally about 2 miles south of Woburn, and it literally borders the Bedford Estate. So if you know the big deer park in Woburn where the Abbey is, that's literally just behind us. So why I'm here, we've got this beautiful semi-detached home which is on the market. So this house would have been part of the Bedford Estate originally, this sort of original cottage in the middle here, and then it was purchased in the 1920s privately, and then over the years you've had extensions done to the side and to the rear. The current owners bought this home in 2011, and since doing so they've done a full renovation, and it is my absolute pleasure to bring this to the market. So you will have already seen a lot of the content that we've put out, but I wanted to take the time to do a longer form video for you, just so that if you aren't local and you really wanted to sort of have a reason to come and view this property in person, I thought we'd go into a little bit more detail and explain why I think this is such a fantastic house. So for starters, you've seen we've got this really pretty picket fence, sort of picture perfect kind of village country home, and you've got a lot of frontage off the road. As you can see, it's not a busy road, it's a very small village anyway, handful of houses, and frankly there's not a lot that comes to the market here, full stop. But as you can see, you've got these stunning trees, we've got all these sort of lovely borders, and just to get your bearings, we've got a southeast facing front, so the sun is just going to follow us all the way around this way all day. You can see here you've got your entrance, so you've got the road next to the house, and then you've got your big driveway here for all of your cars, plenty of street parking here as well, but ultimately double 5-bar gates close this off and you've got plenty of space. The plot, as you can see, sort of goes around the corner, but I'm going to take you into the house first just to show you the home, and then we'll take you outside. So one of the things that the current owners did was put this porch on. The original front door would have been here, but they've added this on just as a place for you to put your coat and your shoes. And the interior layout has changed an awful lot since the house would have been first built. Now, as I mentioned outside, that original sort of Bedford Estates cottage would have ended here, and it would have ended there. So it would have been a very small 2 up, 2 down. You then had extension done on the side here, extensions off the back to make it now just under 1,700 square feet. So it's a very, very well proportioned house. The owners have sort of knocked this space into one, and what this almost kind of doubles up as, it's almost like a really lovely, almost like a reception hall that you can walk into, greet your guests. But as you can see, obviously there's a big dining table, and it just serves as a really nice place to have formal sort of dining. So whether you're entertaining, whether it's somewhere you want to have breakfast with east facing sun coming through the window in the morning, somewhere to display things underneath the stairs. But I mean, I love homes where you've got open spaces like this that become a lot more flexible, and ultimately it just means that the house will appeal to more than just one type of demographic. So come through this way into what I think is probably one of the prettiest living rooms that I've seen. And actually I'm not going to walk into the room, I'm going to let you see what I can see. So again, we've got a triple aspect. So again, morning sun, you can see it sort of streaming through the window. It is 25 past 11 at the moment. So you can see the light kind of flooding in through here, and it's just going to work its way around through these 2 windows. And then eventually in the afternoon, it's going to come through the double doors behind you. But you've got a lovely size space, you know, plenty of room for all the family, big sofa, armchairs. You could put a couple of seating areas in here, and you've got doors to your outside seating. Got a log burner, so in the winter this space is going to feel really lovely as well. And I really like that from this side of the room you've got a great view of St. Peter's Church through the window to really help kind of tie in that village vibe. We've got a bit of storage here, and then I'm going to bring you into the room which the owners use the most, which is the kitchen. So when they purchased, they've actually extended this room out to make sure that you had enough space here for casual seating or even a dining if you wanted to. But we've got a very sort of sympathetic kitchen for the location, quartz worktop, shaker style, it's a very sort of what you would want from a home in this sort of location. Double Belfast sinks. So they've done a really good job on it. You do have a slight overhang on this side, so you can put a couple of bar stools here if you do want a casual space or somewhere to sit and have a cup of tea when the friends come over and talk. All important wine fridge this side, so don't worry about that. And there is more space downstairs, but before we do it, I do want to take you out here, because this is sort of the reason why the owners spend most of the time here, is because this is sort of the south-facing element. So come outside, and I'm just going to show you sort of what you're going to be living with every day. So again, we're basking in sun, and it's just going to get sunnier as we go across, but you can see that there's no housing sort of directly here. So we've got nothing to block our sun. We've got these gorgeous oak trees in the background, and we've just got what I would call kind of the perfect country garden, really. Those doors behind you go onto the living room that you would have seen a moment ago. So again, you can open this up and you can have access off of both the lounge and your kitchen onto this outside area. We've even got space for our barbecues here in the corner, a little footpath that takes us back around to the driveway in that large front garden. But for me, this is sort of like, I don't know, like it's just, I think what they've obviously created with these sort of aces and things as well is it's just a very peaceful garden. We've got our water feature in the corner, which again adds a nice backdrop to just the birds, and then on the hour you're going to get St. Peter's church bells ringing as well. So it's lovely. You know, we've even got sort of like a patch at the back here where you can do your veggies. We've got a greenhouse, and then we've got almost kind of two spaces which I think are going to be really important to people. So this is almost like a workshop. So it's, imagine almost like a garage, but without a sort of garage door on it, as it were. Our oil tank is in there as well, but we've got that as almost like a big kind of storage area. So if you're into your gardening, I know you've got your greenhouse, but you can have everything in there, even be a great little potting shed. And what we've got here is almost then like the garage. And the reason why I think these are so important is because, and I'll show you this in a moment, that space, there is a door from this downstairs room behind the kitchen that goes into it. So if you wanted a bit more downstairs space, for me, that's a very easy thing to potentially convert, but you're not losing storage because you've still got your workshop over there, basically. And the reason why I mentioned about potentially adding more downstairs space isn't because the house needs it, because like I said, it's under 1,700 square feet. But I think when you're looking at villages like this, where you've got this really sort of beautiful, but I would argue easy to maintain sort of country garden, and you're 2 miles walk into Woburn, and you've got a fantastic local pub and very quintessential, you know, Bedfordshire village fetes, and, you know, things are going on at Christmas and carols at the church and things like that. I think that if you are a family, this place is going to work really well because we've got really good sized spaces. But not only that, we've got an outstanding rated school in the village, easy access to the Bedford private schools as well. But if you're thinking of downsizing and actually you live relatively local and you want to maintain your downstairs space but don't need all the bedrooms, I think this works really well. And the reason why I think it works well is because you could create a downstairs bedroom here. Let me show you. So, room behind the kitchen. So bear with me. I'm going to talk to you about what it is at the moment. But like I said, if you are thinking downsizing and having a downstairs bedroom for future, this is what I think could potentially be a bit of a game changer for you. So come on in. Utility room on your right-hand side. But if you have a look in that utility room, you'll see around to the left-hand side especially that there is plenty of space there for a shower to be installed. So that could easily be reconfigured, and you could have it as a downstairs shower room or an ensuite off of what potentially here could be a bedroom. You can see we've already got storage here on the right hand side, and at the moment this is being utilised as an office space, and we've got a pull-out bed for guests. But if you wanted to make this a formal bedroom, you've got the potential for a bathroom for you, nice and easy. But then we've got that sort of extra garage space through there. So if you wanted to either make a bigger bedroom and have this as a dressing area through to an ensuite, that worked particularly well. Or even if you're thinking about having a parent living with you and you want them to have a bit of their own space, you could utilize the same thing, but that could then end up being almost like a private living space for them. Bifold, you could have doors then off onto the garden so they've got easy access to it. But I just feel like I don't think this house needs anything doing to it. I think the owners have done a fantastic job, but I also love the fact that you can potentially tweak it to suit your situation, basically, and if you wanted that downstairs space, or even if you wanted an extra downstairs office. So, how gorgeous is this lantern here, by the way? Okay, so that's our downstairs living space. So let me then take you upstairs and show you what we've got, because originally this house would have been 4 bedrooms upstairs, but the owners have converted it so it's now 3 bedrooms upstairs. But if you think about the age of the house, there is a very logical reason as to why they've done that. And the logical reason is because en-suites were not a thing when these homes were built. So this was the original main bedroom. So it's a really lovely size, lovely width. You can see here plenty of space at the bottom of the bed. And we've got our east-facing window, so we're going to wake up to lovely sunshine. If you're like me and like being woken up by natural light, then you're going to love this room. And then we've also got a south-facing window here to make sure this is illuminated throughout the day. But the bedroom would have ended here. So the fourth bedroom was accessed off the landing, and this would have been it. But what the owners have then obviously made is this really generous, lovely ensuite, where again, we've got dual aspect windows. We've got a lovely roll top bath, so we can sort of enjoy the west facing sun coming in or the south facing. And I think personally for me, I think that's super important, especially because you could use a bedroom downstairs. And we find a lot of people want 4 beds because they want the 4th bed as an office, and you've got the office down there. So instead, what we've now got is 3 good bedrooms and 2 bathrooms on the first floor. But if you're looking at this and they're going, do you know what, Dom? I really love the look of it, but actually we do want 4 bedrooms upstairs and we don't mind about an ensuite. I think the owners have been very clever in that they haven't properly bricked this up. So you can see here, this would have been the doorway going into that bedroom. And so if you wanted to convert it back, you're just undoing what they've done, basically. They haven't made a permanent change. So we have then got our family shower room. And then at the end of the landing, you got another double bedroom. And then on this side, opposite the main, is what would have been the main bedroom when it was sort of your original Edwardian house, because we're back in the original cottage, whereas the new main bedroom would have been in that sort of that gabled extension. There's also even more potential. Because of the age of these homes, the pitch on the lofts, on the roofs rather, are very, very generous. And so we've got a large loft hatch with a pull-down ladder. I've actually been up there. And so if you're thinking again of, I love the downstairs space, but upstairs we wish was a tiny bit bigger, loft conversion potential, I think with this house is very, very straightforward to do, especially because the logical way of getting up there would be through the smallest bedroom rather than taking any space out of these larger bedrooms as well. So like I said, I think this house is spot on as it is. But if you love the location, you're desperate to live in Milton Bryan, which I wouldn't blame you if you were, and you just wanted to tweak it slightly, there's loads of potential that I think you could do to this house in a very cost-effective manner. So let's finish back downstairs, just because I feel as though you deserve another look outside before we sign off. Because all you can really hear, I don't know if it's picking up on the microphone, but all you can really hear out here is trees, which is stunning. So here's trees, birds. The look I got then from the camera lady Sarah there was like I'd lost my marbles. But look, let's just wander back to the front. And again, you can sort of see from this view now the amount of front garden that you have with all these lovely trees. So one last look at the front to finish off. So 23 Church End in Milton Bryan. Beautiful home. Lots of work been done on this by the owners. And I don't know, look, I mean, it's going to sound very salesy, but I honestly feel as though this home is going to get a lot of interest because I just think that it's just beautiful. Just a lovely, lovely place. So, hope you've enjoyed this extended tour. If you want any more information, then we've got a lot of content out already. Check out the full details on our website, which will be in the link to this video as well. And obviously, if you want to come and have a look at how lovely this is in person, then you know what to do. Just reach out and I'll be happy to give you the tour.